Greetings, Exiles and Foodies. About a week ago, I did a build guide update on my Cyclone League starter that I also mentioned was going to be the last because I found a mirror. I've broken the mirror up into Divines, and I've went on a bit of a shopping spree. First, I'm having a mirror worth of Divines. I went ahead and bought a Mage Blood because it was the first time I had the opportunity to play with a Mage Blood, especially that early in a league also. And then I just bought a ton of gear for a build that I'd been looking at last league but never got to play. So I was like, okay, let's try it this league. It's basically a Trickster Flicker Strike build that's just storming around and just murdering everything while having a ton of indie shield and blocking its way to victory. I have done just about any content at this point, and I'm just gonna try and quickly roll a map here, and let's see. Yeah, this is perfectly fine. Corrupted, perfect. So I basically went for the monster pack size 25%, and I've just been storming tier 16 map at the moment. I'm 96, and my passive tree looks something about this. As any Flicker Strike build, we move on the right side, picking up all the Frenzy, Charge, Max charges. We have the Disciple of Slaughter, Versatile Combatant, Iron Reflexes. We get some extra strike on targets here. Anointed Tribal Fury for the splash, running a cluster jewel, and then we're just picking up things like chance to gain frenzy charge on hit, and the same with here with the unique. And let me just open up here. There we go. And with the new way Flicker Strike worked a few patches ago, we now have a chance to generate frenzy charge on hitting. So this alone, together with multi-strike here, we're sitting at near 80%. So that's plenty fine when you hit 2 and especially 3 targets with splash damage. This is just straightforward, easy to sustain. The map atlas that I'm running is basically rituals, together with Eat of World atlas, together with ton of scarabs, and just boosting the explicit, so the quant, rarity and pack size on maps. And I'm running Jungle Valley at the moment. It was a friend of mine who showcased the this technique, or whatever you like to call it, atlas strategy. And basically we're just swimming in stack decks in these maps. Let's just see here. And as you can see, we're just zooming through the maps here, and this is basically the speed I'm going at. Right, the only thing I have to say is there are a few things this build cannot do. I've done Uber content, I have done Maven, the Fiat, I have done a lot of different content. If you take a look at this altar here, just have to be careful because we got 19 maximum resistance reduction, but it's not that big of a deal. Sap and remove random charges. No, this is fine. But sometimes you hit an altar that gives you reduced defenses per frenzy charges. Do not take it, because it's gonna break your build. You're gonna run around with around 400 energy shield. I hope that we can just see it in this map, and I'm gonna showcase it real quickly. And as usual, this is the problem with Flicker Strike. You have to kind of like backtrack sometimes to pick up stuff. Let's see here. Reduce. No. But basically, you want to pick up the quantity and rarity things here regarding of these negative mods, because you're pretty tanky, so you can do it. If you do not have a Mage Blood, please don't fret. You can play this build without a Mage Blood. But like my last league, I did my second build. It's not a league start friendly build. It isn't. You could if you know what you're doing and you don't have any issues ever generating currency, and you can start from nothing and everything. Then you can play it as a league start. I will never ever recommend it as a league start, because it's going to be a horrible experience. You're going to feel it's going to be clunky. It's going to have low damage, low survivability in the start, so yeah, don't league start this. It's kind of one of those, you put together the gear before you level as something different, and then you go into actually making the build. I saw the build last league as mentioned, and it's basically something I wanted to try but never got around to it. But this time around I was like, okay, let's try this league, and thankfully I got to try Raider last league before it was bye-bye with it. So yeah, I'm pretty happy I went with Raider last league for a flicker. Let's see here. No, so we're going with quantity and rarity as we do not. So basically this is how it goes. Now you might be wondering, where's all the boss nodes for the Eat of World Atlas? Well, that's the exact thing about this Atlas strategy. And running Jungle Valley, basically, the boss has not yet spawned, because it's the spider boss that come down from the ceiling, and basically that allows us to only get the altars that would give either something to the Eldritch minions or a debuff to us for a buff. And if I just go over to this one, crit strike multiplier per power charge. Yeah, and that's what I'm talking about with per charge. You can also get one with, I think it's life regeneration rate with endurance charges, and then of course there's the reduced defenses as a for the preferency charge, and that's one of the deadliest mods. Next to that, no leech and monsters steal frenzy charges. That's the only things this cannot run. It can run the frenzy charge, can't stolen, but it's annoying as hell, because you can't like have to go around and frenzy directly into a flicker, and yeah, it's just kind of awkward. So stay away from that one. But yeah, next to that, it can do pretty much any content. It's not the best bosser out there, hence it's flicker strike. So flicker strike and bossing just don't go hand in hand unless you have like a flicker strike with 150 million DPS multi-mirror build. I'm never gonna make one of those, trust me, for two reasons. One, it's not very build guide friendly. It's more of a, hey guys, see what I got a Ferrari. And secondly, it's completely impossible to follow. Oh, a wall puzzle blocks. I've also done a few of those, and it's fine actually. So yeah, let's just see here. There. Speaking of, okay, so as you can see here, we're just gonna skip the boss then. But basically, reduce defenses per frenzy charge. I have 7 right now, so if I pick this, if I just flick a few times, if I do not have anything here, you can see I have 1.7k in the shield. Basically, that means most things can one-hit me, so I'm not gonna do the last altar because then I'm gonna die and lose my XP, and I kind of want to hit level 97. So yeah, let's not go with that. But basically, that's really a build breaking when you're playing this build, because please don't kill. Oh, Divine Destiny. Nice. But yeah, as you can see, 1.4k, and that's just too low for comfort. Okay, let's see what we get from Valdo. Boiled face breakers, no thank you. But yeah, this is what I'm basically pulling in per map, as you can see here. Like that, sorry. 56 div card. If I did the last altar, I could probably gain 10 div card from that, and this would be closer to like 65 div card, and yeah, that's pretty decent, because if I go out here, let me just show. This was a map I just done earlier today, 75, and it amounts to 105 chaos. Just about, and these cost around 7 at the given moment, 7k as a pop. So this is like 7, 14, 21, 28. Math doesn't even out, 35. So yeah, 35, and with 2 times 35, 70 chaos, this is suddenly sitting at 1.2 diff, which is 180. So we're probably earning about, in just raw diff card if you're selling them, approximately what, 70 chaos, no 70, that's rubbish, around 40 chaos per map, just in raw like stack decks. So yeah, and then of course there's all the other bubblegum and everything. So yeah, that's about it for the build. The Atlas strategy, as mentioned, it's basically just going blocking content, getting scarabs, explicit modifiers, getting ritual, altus, and more scarabs, more explicit modifiers, going in a circle here, and then some Eater of World Atlas things, and then singular focus for map sustain. So yeah, then whenever I get the Eater of World progress to 28, I get the invitation, I do it myself because it can do. Right, so for a budget version of this build, you really want Chaperon's Revelation, you need Aegis Aurora, you need, well, you don't need, but it's nice to have Voice of Storm, and you need Imperial Edge Dusk. If you do not have Imperial Dusk, forget it. But if you do, you can play this build. This is the bread and butter because it has the line stating attacks with this weapon at maximum lightning damage equal to 20% of player's maximum energy shield. So the higher you scale your energy shield, the more damage you deal with Imperial Edge. If you do not have the liability to purchase the Resolute technique on the Imperial Edge, you can actually go ahead and pick up either the Acuity. I have zero idea how you pronounce this. Acuity, let's just call it that. Or you can pick up the depth perception here. And then I would suggest you go for the more accuracy at close range. That's probably going to be your best bet, most likely, if you can afford it, because it is, I don't even know what it's going for at this moment. Yeah, 8 divines. It is a bit expensive to buy this. But this is like one of those currency things that you can just keep investing into to get more in your shield, and you could probably break up into the 12,000. I've seen it's a couple of people here, and just to showcase where I found it, I wanted to do Flicker Strike. I looked up and like so many people were Slayer, but then I saw couple of people playing Trickster, and I was like, let's go and see what people are rolling with. And this is basically what I found. Some are going Diane's prototype, some are not, and some are going for Darkness Enthroned with high damage jewels, and some are going Headhunters, Tinctures, and some are going Mage Blood. So I kind of fixed up this variant of the build, and it's working wonders. As long as I hit no leech, no Steel Frenzy charges, I can just steamroll basically any content there is. And yeah, I've done the Feared, no problem at all. I've done the Elder Slayers, the Hidden, the Forgotten, the Formed, the Twisted, and everything. And that was actually my second Atlas strategy. And let me just see here, show you. First, this is the original Atlas tree that I had. I respect everything on it and built it for new for the definition of Cloister. The second thing I ran actually was a Harbinger Delirium thingy, and then the third thingy I'd just been running was actually a full-on Harbinger Rituals Scarab Atlas skill tree that I saw. I think it was Captain Lance proclaiming this strategy. I think, butcher me in the comment if I'm wrong, but I think this was his skill tree that he was running. I tried it out, but the problem with this was just that the let's just set case here. The Harbinger Scarab of Regency and the Harbinger Scarab of Wards were just getting so expensive that it was, in my opinion, not worth it over going for this new Atlas skill tree that my friend showed to me, which looks a bit same but more like no Harbingers, but going for the Ritual and just going for the stack decks. It's kind of the same, but in the feeling, but this just gives so much more of a steady stream of income rather than the fracturing orb that you're hoping for, and sometimes the mirror. I farmed up a bunch of divines again, and I bought mirror shots in hope that they're just rising. I actually bought all these 3 mirror shots for 20 divine each, so yeah, I'm pretty happy. I opened up a couple of the stack decks that I have here, but now I want to go and for you guys, I'm going to make the next video a just 2k stack decks that I'm gonna open. So I'm gonna farm up 2000 stack decks. I'm gonna open my 2000 stack decks in a video. So yeah, look forward to that. Right now I just have a couple of strand maps I'm running from an old strat here. Then next to that, yeah, that's about it for an update on this. I'm probably gonna get to 97 on this build if I make it, if I don't misread things or anything. And yeah, then I'm probably at 97 or something. I'm probably gonna go and swap over to a summoner build. I kind of wanted to try a summoner build with the frost bearers, and I kind of wanted to try a high-end summoner build. I always done summoner builds, but that's as a league start, and now I have the currency to actually go and make a high-end variant. So yeah, that's probably gonna be the next project. I'm most likely gonna follow a lot of things that Gassy do, Gassy TV, and because Gassy minions, I mean, it is what it is. So yeah, that's about it for the video. If you liked it, if you liked the idea of the concept of Flicker Strike, if you have a question, please hit them in the comments and I will try my best to answer them. And please butcher me if I've said anything wrong, and make sure you sub if you like my video and want to see more. Stay sane, exiles.